Hello, everyone. I'm here with my new motor, but let me just set this down a second as it is pretty heavy. Now, I've only just found out about this job because I started my shift today at noon and jumped straight into my car. So let me find out what it's all about. Moving to my technician portal here on my iPad, I can see that I've been assigned one task of high priority. So let's drill into the details. And wow, this is a lot of information for me to review. So as opposed to looking at this field by field, I'm going to leverage the AI work briefing to give me a quick summary. Okay, so it looks like this task was created for the UL1 packaging line following an automatically detected anomaly. It's also noted that 4 months ago, Carl came out to do some regularly scheduled maintenance where he said that everything was operating smoothly. But based on this currently collected data, the recommended scope of work for myself is to proactively replace this motor to avoid any unexpected production shutdown. And it's also told me what materials I can expect to use as well. Let's get on with this motor replacement, shall we? All right, so I'm going to take my new motor here, swap it out for the old one. Okay, do the same thing with my cable terminal kit. All right, that is that. I am done. But I did notice some browning in the cable terminal here. But now that we're all set, I'm going to report what I did using the AI-assisted work reporting. I shut down the power and locked out the conveyor to swap out the damaged motor before it would fail entirely. I used a motor and cable kit from spares, and the whole job took about 2.5 hours. The major issue was that the motor's windings were damaged from an overcurrent likely caused by phase loss. As I was working, I noticed the terminal was getting pretty hot, but should be okay for now. We should plan to replace that before the next scheduled maintenance just to be safe. I have tested the conveyor and everything is operating smoothly. Now let's see what AI can do with this. Wow, that's neat. So based on what I just said, it has automatically filled out my work report for me with the fault type, the performed action, as well as all the details that I've mentioned. It's recorded my time for me here, the materials that I've used, and it even took my suggestion to replace the terminal before the next scheduled maintenance. Wow. That's neat. And also, thanks, Kevin. And also, before I get on with this, I'm going to go ahead and move on. But we can see here, once I finish this job, that's it for me. On to the next one.
All right. Well, thank you, Tyler, for sorting that out so smoothly for us and handling that heavy motor for us there. So let's leave MedSol for now and go back to Venteki. And let's see how we can use the insights and the experiences Tyler gained doing this service to actually improve how we work and how we perform in the future. So, Lacey, would you come back out and join us again, please?
Hello.
Hello. So I can see, but the audience cannot see, that you're in the middle of a chat there with sort of on the knowledge workers chat.
Yep. I was just contacted by the IFS.AI Copilot asking me to review and approve an update to a knowledge article. This update was suggested after my digital colleague read through Tyler's work report. Let's see. It's talking about the issue that we just repaired with the motor. That's a really good addition because come to think of it, we have seen this issue before. So getting it in the knowledge base will be really helpful for our junior technicians. Let's just refresh. Here's the current published version of that knowledge article. And here's the new revision that was created and waiting for my approval. If I scroll down, here's the information that was added about the overcurrent damage as a possible failure mode. And here's the information about the overheating issues. Let me go back and approve this update so that next time we work on the motors, we'll have this information available.
All right, well, that's really cool, Lacey, that it did that. Now, I wonder if this knowledge manager did it to work, it did something else. So let's go and have another peek into the brain of the knowledge manager. Nope. Apparently we are not. We're waiting for the knowledge manager. There we go. So now we can see that, what did it do, right? It actually searched for knowledge-based articles. It created a new revision, got that sent off to Lacey to approve. But there's something else in here, right? It's handing off to an engineering change request agent. What is that all about, Lacey? Engineering change request?
Yeah, well, I suspect that it picked up on those comments about overheating. So if we go back and we look at that request and we look at the preventive scope, we can actually see that an engineering change request has been attached. That's great that it's attached to the service, because when my engineers look at this request, they'll have full traceability as to where it originated from.
I mean, that's fantastic, Lacey. Thank you so much for showing us all of these things today.
Yes, thank you.
Now, if we just look at what we saw in this last part of the demo, right? We saw generative AI helping Tyler prepare for his service job by summarizing everything he needs to know, maybe something he can listen to whilst he's driving to the site. Then we saw AI helping him actually report on his work. And of course, compared to before AI, this saves a lot of time, it makes things more efficient, but maybe the most important aspect is actually that it makes it so much easier for the people out in the field to share their knowledge and their experiences and getting that into our systems. Because when it's in the system, we can use it to update those knowledge-based articles that got attached to the next job for the next guy or girl to go and do on a similar asset in a similar situation. So that way we institutionalize some of this knowledge, just like we saw happening here with the knowledge manager worker. We even got a suggestion for how to improve the product as in the form of an engineering change request to avoid these problems completely in the future. Now, to close this off, as Mark said in his opening, we have learned that AI needs to be applied in the industrial context. It needs to be embedded, not something that sits on the side. And we need digital workers that are always learning, they're ready for the enterprise, and they're ready for industry. You've just seen 5 different types of AI, used 15 times in 30 minutes. That, ladies and gentlemen, is industrial AI applied. Thank you.